Listen. So I've gotten a couple requests for this Spanish series on Netflix called Elite that's pretty much a high school telenovela. At first I thought this thing was like a reboot of Rebelde, but it's more of an unrated version of Pretty Little Liars with subtitles. And that's super important to know. Yo entiendo español, pero what I don't entiendo is how bad dubbing is on almost every Netflix show, so subs over dubs every day. This show takes place in España, so you know they go heavy on the lisps. And when they realize that someone at the school got murdered, they all go,
Suffering succotash.
I think it's worth the binge for its 8 episodes. It's steamy, it's melodramatic, and they're clearly aiming to have a second season, even though I think it's better that it just has one. Let me explain. So right off the bat, this thing has a pretty elite title, showing you how everyone is going to marry each other and they're coming from opposite ends. We got these 3 kids who arrive at this preppy school after an incident that happened in their previous one. 2 of them got scholarships for using their head, while the third one, Christian, got there because he got hit in the head. All the trust fund kids look down on them because they're considered too poor to be in their presence, which, I mean, the last school was so bad the roof fell on their head, so they kind of have a point. You got Samuel, who I would say feels like the main character in this series. He's one of the 3 who got a scholarship to come to this school, and right away my man falls in love with Spanish Emmy Rossum. Problem is that his brother just got out of jail as well, and that dude doesn't just look like John Bernthal. He's got his anger too, and the man swoops up his brother's girl.
Suffering succotash.
The big deal with the show is that Marina, the one who the 2 brothers like, gets murdered, and so we're seeing these flash forwards of everyone getting interrogated as we lead up to it. And even though she's one of the rich kids, it kind of sucked that she died because I thought she was one of the better characters. She was pretty cool, she wasn't stuck up until we learn.
¿Qué pasa con Marina?
Que es seropositiva, Nano.
Turns out that like half of my college credits, it's not transferable, but like, you still gotta let Nan know. Her brother Guzman is like ultra protective of her, right? This man even refuses to believe that his sister got it because she was sleeping around. To him, she's a freaking angel, Mother Teresa. He wants to believe that she accidentally tripped, slipped, and landed on some dudes. Guzman's adopted, but he quickly also adopts the lifestyle of being a douche, especially since his girlfriend Lou is worse than him, right? Like there's a point where they devise a plan to screw with the 3rd scholarship student named Nadia, because she's like the Penny Proud of the school. The thing is that everyone's trying to get this Ivy League trophy that'll get him a full ride to this university in Florida, but only one student can get it. That's why Lou demands Guzman to seduce Ned to brew a plan that screws her, because Guzman actually starts falling for the girl. Nadia has a brother named Omar who's a drug dealer, so his dad just wants to lock him up in a closet, not realizing that Omar is already coming out of it. He starts a little fling with Anders, who's the principal's son and Guzman's right-hand man before he becomes Omar's left-hand man. And these 2 are like the only ones in the show, right? Omar and Anders, who I actually was rooting for because they were never doing anything bad to anyone else. They just should have ran away and escaped all the pressures of their parents and the craziness of these 3.
¿Te has leído la Constitución? Pues no. ¿Listo? Me estoy esperando a que saquen la película.
Now, to me, Christian is a straight-up cartoon, which is why I guess I can kind of relate to him to a degree. This man knows he doesn't belong in the school because he just got in because of an accident, so he tries to make the best of it. He's a complete buffoon, and even on the first day, he's all ready to work on a group project with a girl, not realizing that it involves 3 partners. Carla right here may be the background friend, right? Like, you see her at first and you think she's the Amanda Seyfried of the group, who's cute and innocent, you know, the one who stands behind the mean girls, not realizing she's the conniving one. First off, she has Polo, Whymper, and Marco in his little hidden corner as she gets off, makes Christian believe that he's fitting in, but only physically. And when it comes to cover-ups, this chick is Skylar Whitebad. See, by the time they're all getting interrogated in the future, trying to figure out who did the murder, it ends up being almost anyone, right? Like, Marina ends up pregnant with Nano's kid, so the cops can easily think that he's got probable cause, even though he just wanted to run away with her. It could also be Samuel, since he realizes that the girl he likes is a lying, thieving adulterer at heart with his brother. Nadia's mad at her because she snitched on her brother for selling drugs, which means Anders is too, since that's his boo. She has the teacher on edge because he did this.
Perdona, que era mi madre.
No, así compartimos con toda la clase. Lo importante... A ver, ¿me das el teléfono?
Nadia, lee, por favor. Lee.
No.
Marina no tiene sida, animal.
which is why teachers never confiscate those phones. Her brother Guzman is always angry, so he could have just had a fit. She's also backstabbed her family by stealing their expensive watches that have these secret USB drives in there because she wants to run away. And that gets Carla mad because that blackmailing also involves her dad. So by the end of it, when she finally ends up being the one who wins the award, ain't nobody care about her except Soy Boy Samuel.
I'm sorry that people are so jealous of me, but I can't help it that I'm popular.
What's dumb about it is that by the final episode, where everything's starting to get connected, she's still considering running away, so she doesn't really even need the trophy, but Samuel tries to convince her to stay, and she's like, nah, I'm leaving. And she calls Nano and says, nah, I'm staying. Polo goes to talk to her only because he wants to steal back the watch, thinking that somehow he'll be able to get Carla all back for himself. But when Marina mocks him,
Iba a volver contigo. Hostia.
¿Coño te ríes, Marina? ¿Que de qué coño te ríes?
dude congratulates her with her own trophy, pulls a Cain and Abel, and dips. But I mean, you got the watch back. Like I said, Carla comes in looking like the CDA during a 2319. She cleans up everything. She gets rid of the murder weapon. Tells Polo that if he can take his secret to the grave, but because Marina survived long enough to die in Nano's arm when he arrived to run away with her, he gets charged with it and goes to jail again.
Suffering succotash.
Lou's like the only one who's happy, kind of, because I guess by default she's gonna get the scholarship. However, her boyfriend Guzman starts pulling a Sonic the Hedgehog because he's super depressed. Crazy Carla's acting like nothing ever happened. These two should still consider running away. And Samuel tells Christian, who's one of the only ones who knows the truth, that he's going to do anything in his power to save his brother because that's his blood, leading us to believe that in season 2 we will get to the bottom of things and find justice. And y'all thought East High had some drama. Thank you guys for checking out this video. I'm curious to know your thoughts down below in the comments section. Like I said, I'm very curious to see what Netflix is going to do next. I know like with Dark, that's one that you guys have been recommending a lot. They've been able to do a lot of not just movies, but series in other languages that are filmed in other places. And like I said, this one it's melodramatic. It is a telenovela pretty much. I'm curious to see what they do with season 2, even though I feel like they're going to drag it out because like the whole point of season 2 is making everything be normal and okay when that's not the world that they've built up. So I don't think you're gonna find justice in season 2, and if you do, it's gonna backhand everything they did. But I'm curious to know your thoughts about this. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll send you a free subscription to Telemundo.